Hi, Pathfinders. Oh, I'm laughing because I have a friend who teased me about the name. He said it was so weird and so awkward, and I'm like, yeah, I'm weird like that. I like it. Pathfinders. So yes, hi Pathfinders. You're most welcome to the officially braless podcast. Oh, let me tell you something, you guys. This podcast name has it has really caused certain conversations to occur. I don't know, whenever I'm telling people the name of the podcast, they're like, what? And I feel, what? They're like, braless? What does braless mean? And it's just an interesting interaction. And I'm really thankful that it has that type of name. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I know I've been lost, but I'm back. I always come back. I always do. I've had some thoughts on my mind, but before we get into it, how has your year been so far? Because my 2026 really started off, I don't even know, but it has been very interesting in both good and bad ways. And I guess the only word I can say is interesting because I guess we live and we learn, and these thoughts have been recurring over the past few weeks, and I want to talk about hurting people because we've had these conversations before, and usually the narrator is talking about how they have been hurt. But this time I want to talk about how I have hurt other people and what it has made me feel like, from my perspective, the kind of feelings that I've felt when I hurt somebody, and also just a question out of curiosity: what do people feel? How do people feel when they hurt me? Especially when they know me and they know the kind of person I am, how I process feelings, how emotional I am, how I'm an overthinker and all that stuff. Like, do they think about those things before they hurt me? Or even though it was, they hurt me unknowingly, and later they get to realize that, oh, what I could be doing to Bobs could be hurtful. What goes through their mind? And so first I'm going to tell you what goes through my mind. Maybe I got back to you and told you, I'm really sorry, I apologize, and yeah. So this is exactly what went through my mind when I hurt you. There are two ways of hurting people. One where you know what you're doing, and the other one where you do something and then either the person comes to you and tells you that, hey, what you did was not good, it hurt my feelings. Or when the person doesn't come to you, but you just later realize that, oh shit, I think what I did hurt this person. Now, I'm not going to say on all accounts I went and apologized, yeah, but I do know that when I hurt somebody, the amount of guilt on my heart convicts me enough to go and try to make things right. I don't know if you guys understand what guilt is, but let me tell you something. Guilt is a concept that I cannot even explain. I've heard guilt has made people miserable. I've heard that guilt has caused people to even commit suicide because they cannot handle it. Guilt breaks somebody, by the way. Guilt can break you. So until you I don't know how God made it. I don't know how I really debate guilt, guys. Guilt is one of the worst feelings you can ever feel. And so yes, I've had accounts where I've felt really guilty after doing something bad to someone. Yes, I am human. I'm human, I have flaws, I have hurt people. And there are 3 accounts. Of course, day to day where maybe we said something hurtful, where those normal things. But then there are moments, like 3 accounts in my entire life. Yes, I'm turning 30 years old in November. But in all my 30 years on the earth, there are 3 accounts in my life where I've hurt people on a big scale, where the person cried, even sent me a voice note and cried and told me, why would you do this to me? You guys, the guilt. Oh my gosh, the guilt. Now, I'm not going to go through each account because I don't want to relive that. I did try to make things right with each of these people, and one person, well, I've never talked to them ever again. I think they blocked me maybe. But the other person was my sister. These were a few months. Actually, let me narrate this one. There were a few months before she passed on, and I was a very young, stupid kid. I think I was in Form 5. She had gifted me my very first smartphone. She actually asked me for it for some time, and then when she gave it back to me, she had forgotten the passcode. And so I couldn't use my phone, I couldn't use my smartphone, and I felt so bad. And I felt bad because I couldn't talk to my friends on WhatsApp, and it was a time when WhatsApp had just become very popular. So I couldn't talk to my friends on WhatsApp. I felt like, I was missing out. I couldn't log into Facebook. And so I said so many hurtful things to my sister, and she was going through so many things at the time. And the way it ended, I just locked the door on her because she was leaving. And she was like, Barbara, are you really seriously not going to talk to me because I forgot the passcode of the phone? And for me at that time, it felt like I can't use my phone, so I feel like the world is ending because I can't speak to my friends. And to my 17-year-old brain, that felt like, like the worst thing ever. Like, how dare you forget the passcode to my phone? I didn't have a passcode before then, but then you put it there and now you've forgotten it, you know? So we really had a very big argument, and she walked away and I didn't go after her. But later on, I felt really bad, and then my sister fell sick, and then and she passes on. And let me tell you something, up to now, how many years has it been? Since 2015? The math. I keep telling you, up to now, I still remember how that argument went on. I keep wondering if she knew, did she know that even with that argument, did she know that I loved her? Did she know, that kind of guilt resurfaces over time? And I tell you, that's how bad things are when I hurt people. I feel so guilty. I feel so bad. There's that conviction that I really need to make things right. And if I don't make things right, it's going to mess up with my mental health. It's going to mess me up. And then there are other moments where later on I realized that I've hurt this person. So there's another account. Now this one is a mild one. Us women, when we go through our cycles, there are moments where the hormones are fluctuating and it affects our mood. So I was quite moody, and it was at work, but I kind of got really angry at a workmate, a colleague, and also a friend, yeah. And later on, I just realized I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I was like, I have to go and tell this person sorry. So I texted them and hey, I'm really, really sorry I said this. This is not an excuse, but I'm bleeding right now. I'm on, my period, and my emotions are all over the place, and you just happened to get in the fire. And it's no excuse, but I'm really sorry if I hurt you. And he was cool with it. He was like, it's okay, I understand, it's fine. Yeah. So those have been the few accounts where, I've hurt people and it just didn't go well. But thankfully, I was able to make things right, to say I'm sorry, to apologize, hey, I'm really sorry, I did this. But now, let's get to where people hurt me. I don't know how to put this together, but without feeling weird, like I'm blowing my own trumpet. But I would like to believe that I try to make people happy in my life. And so when somebody goes ahead to hurt me, sometimes I don't even get mad. I don't get, my feelings will definitely get hurt, but the greater percentage is just curiosity. What went through this person's mind when they hurt me? Do they become guilty? Are they like, Barbara is crying, or Barbara is hurt because of me? How do they feel? Because for me, when I hurt someone, you guys, I feel so bad. I feel so bad to the point where I can't think about anything else but the mere fact that I've hurt that person. That person is crying because of me. Me, I caused that. I can't live with that. I have to make things right. So I just wonder, like, do people feel the same way when they hurt me? Do people, can they sleep at night when they know that whatever they've done is probably causing me to cry, to feel bad, to overthink, to, I don't know. I just keep wondering about that. It's a very interesting phenomenon. Also, ignore the noise in the background. People, I am home, I'm on my bed, I am recording. There are chicken behind the apartment building. There are people making noise and whatnot. So if you hear any words in the background, some Luganda happening there, just know that it's a Sunday and people are going on about their lives. Sorry, I will do better. I'm actually planning to get maybe equipment or something to, make things more professional, make more quality for my pathfinders. Anyways, yeah, so I was talking about hurting people, hurting people. And yeah, it just makes me really curious that does this person think about me when they realize that they've hurt me? What goes on in their mind? What really goes on? It's just curiosity. I'm just trying to understand what really goes on in their mind. And I know it's hurtful, I know it's painful, but to some point, I don't think some people, I don't think they even lose a wake of sleep when they hurt others. I don't think so. And it's really painful to think of it that way. Life just goes on for those people after they've hurt others, especially when your relationship with this person, and they know you. Well, you'd like to believe that they know you, and you think you know them, but they still hurt you. They still hurt you, but they continue to eat food. They continue to go about their day. And then me, Baba is here crying, is wondering, is overthinking, is, I'm just really curious, like, does that go through their mind? Does it? It's crazy to think about. It's really crazy to think about. So, this episode is going to be quite short. I know it doesn't have, the arc. Should I call it an arc, or the kind of process my episodes take? I sort of like talk about an issue, or I talk about something on my mind, then I come up with like coping mechanisms or anything. But lately, my episodes have just been leaving people with questions and, food for thought, like what goes through your mind. So I guess the thing here is, have you hurt people before? Of course you have, because I mean, if you haven't, then I don't think you're human. But you've hurt people before, yeah? What goes through your mind? And do you try to make things right with these people? Or are you the kind of person that just decides to leave things the way they are? You don't say sorry, you just move on with your life? Or, I don't know, does it bother you? Does it not bother you? I think maybe think about that and see if it helps you in life. I'm not here to tell people what to do, but I think apologizing is the right thing to do when you hurt somebody, and not just for the sake of it, because there are people who do the sorry not sorry kind of thing. Sorry I offended you, sorry it made you feel that way. We need genuine apologies here. Don't just say sorry just because I'm saying that a lot. When I start saying a lot, just know that the networking in my brain has become quite chaotic. So yeah, this is basically just food for thought for everyone. Well, there are people that I know that when they hurt somebody, they first disappear for some time and then they show up after like nothing happened, hoping that this person won't even talk about it or anything. And in most cases, this person doesn't really bring it up or anything, and things move on, but it builds up. Let me tell you something. If you hurt somebody and then you disappear and then you come back later on, let me tell you, nothing has changed. That wound is still there. Even though you guys continue to talk again and whatever, that wound is there. And until you talk about it, until you dissect it, it's going to build up resentment. Trust me, it is. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if you hurt somebody, go and apologize, yeah? Not just for the sake of apologizing, but genuinely go and apologize, talk about it, and work on your relationships, people. And that, my friends, was today's episode. Um, let's do better. Let's do better. I'm trying to do better. I am. I really am. And I guess this is also a message to, I don't know, if I've hurt anyone in any way, unknowingly, if I've hurt you and I have no idea that I've hurt you, this is an apology kind of episode. Like, I'm really, really sorry that I hurt you, and I'd never intended to do so, because my intention is never to hurt somebody, because hurting somebody is really crippling. It can literally kill you when you hurt someone. I don't know if that's how God put it, honestly. It's interesting. But yes, it was lovely talking to you guys. See you soon, and made it this far. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you soon. Toodaloo.